Good morning, my dear students. In the previous class of project management chapter, we have discussed about the meaning of a project, as also we have discussed about the content of projects. What are the things that has to be included in project report? So the next concept in this particular chapter is project management and its characteristics. So here, what actually this particular project management is? See, project management is a process which helps us to manage the project in a systematic manner to achieve the success of a particular project. Sorry. Whenever we want to achieve something, whenever we want to complete a specific work which has been allocated to us, managing the work in a smooth and systematic manner is one of the procedure which has to be followed by us in order to complete the task successfully. So similarly, when it comes to the project management, it is an application of process. It is an application of process, methods, skills, knowledge and experience that has to be used in order to achieve the project objectives. So whenever we want to work on something, we require some sort of knowledge on it. And at the same time, we require some sort of a procedure and process which has to be followed by us, in order to achieve that particular success. So methods, process skills as well as the knowledge is the most essentially needed for us, in order to achieve the goal of a particular project which we are going to start up with. And this particular project management is the one which speaks about a final delivery. It speaks about it speaks about the starting stage and the ending stage. So how you are going to deliver the product based upon the constraint of time, constraint and budget. That is very important factor. So whenever we are going to deal with the project management along with the process, methods, skills, knowledge and experience, we have to think about the time scale which has been allocated to that particular project and also the budget which has been allocated to it. So based upon the budget and the timeline which has been allocated to a specific project, we have to adopt our skills and knowledge in such a way that it must be completed within the specified time. And here, a project can be a specific, it speaks about a specific beginning and end, as I said you. It starts from, at what time it has to start and at what time it has to end. And in other words, we can say it is a temporary process wherein sometimes the project may require some more time in order to get it completed rather than the time allocation which has been allocated to us due to some obligations or due to some problems which we may be facing while executing the projects. So whenever we want to execute a particular project in a successful manner within the time bound period, we must we must have some alternative arrangements or alternative things which has to be prepared earlier before starting the project, so that we can manage the project successfully and we can complete the task which has been allocated in that particular project successfully within the specified time which has been given to us. So, and here each and every project will be unique. We can't say that each and every project which we are going to design and develop will be of same type. The project will be of different type and the process will be of different type and the knowledge which is required for us in order to run that particular project will be of different type. So each and every project process will be different, the knowledge which is required to implement it will be different, and the skills which are required for us in order to run that particular project will be completely different. Why? Because the projects will not be having the same process or a procedure to develop the projects. And the main important thing that we have to remember here is the various tasks which has to be managed by the team members as well as the team leader when you are developing the projects. Whenever we want to develop the projects as a team, we must have some unity and encouragement among ourselves. Whenever we want to develop something as a team, the communication and coordination among each and every employee in a specific organization is must and should. Without a communication and without having a control over the employees by the team leader, it's impossible for us to solve problems. So all these particular factors which I have mentioned in this particular image is represent the same. So communication is must and should, and teamwork, analysis, teamwork speaks about the coordination, analysis of your project, budget, how much budget has to be allocated to it, in what way we can utilize that particular budget in order to complete that particular project in a successful manner. Similarly, the planning for how you are going to start the project and how you are going to end the project and what are the skills that you are going to adopt in order to solve this particular problem is one of the most important factor which comes into the picture. And at the same time, we have to identify the risk which has to be allocated. We identify the risk which may come when we are starting the projects. When we are starting the projects. Similarly, the goal speaks about the objectives. What like each and every project will be having one or two objectives minimum. So what is the aim of this particular project? Why we are developing this particular project is one of the most important factor which we have to remember about it. Similarly, the deadlines. Deadline speaks about the time constraints or the time scale which has been fixed by us in order to complete that particular task. So these are the various characteristics or the factors which we have to remember whenever we are going to start a particular project. So for example, if I take the project which may include a construction of new bridge or a construction of or building a new software for improvement of our business. So the relief effort of our natural disaster here is to break a new scale, new sales, geographic market, also a project. So if you want to complete a project on time, you need to manage it well. You also need to make sure that within the budget, you are within the budget, and not only work to meet the deadline, you must also make sure that the quality of the project which you are developing must not get failed. The quality must be good. So all these factors has to be considered by us in order to run that particular, in order to get some success in that particular project, get some success in that particular project. So this is what about the characteristics of management speaks about. The main important stages of project management here is planning, initiation, execution, monitoring, and closing. Planning, initiation, execution, monitoring, and closing. These are the major important stages which we have to think about when we are going to start something, when we are going to start executing something. So before starting, we have to plan how to start that particular project and what are the things that are needed for it, and all the things has to be planned well. Then we have to initiate the things in the sense divide the work into different factors and submit it to the co-workers who are working under you. Similarly, execution, how you are going to execute it, which component has to be developed first, which component has to be developed next. All these particular factors has to be designed well in such a way that it must not get any sort of it must not provide any sort of problems or obligations in future. So similarly, monitoring has to be done by the manager in order to check whether the employees are working in a proper manner according to the work that has been allocated to them based upon the projects or not. Similarly, once the process gets completed, we have to close that particular project saying that the project has been completed and the output which has been occurred by this particular project is successful, and this is what we have done. And finally, we have to close that particular project. So this is what about the project management is. Now, my question to you here is, what is project manager? Who is a project manager? What is the role of a project manager? Whether the project manager is the one who has to allocate this particular project management or everyone has to allocate. Yes, my question to you is, this project management has to be allocated, has to be understood only by the project manager or by all the members of the specific team who are going to start a specific project.
All the members of the team, sir.
All the members of a specific team. Why? why all the members of a specific team has to understand how to manage a specific project.
So teamwork is needed, sir. Even other team members should be known about the project.
That is what this particular point speaks about. A teamwork helps us to achieve the success in an easiest manner rather than achieving the success individually. So this is what about the project management processes. And the project manager is a professional who plans and organizes all the resources which are required for starting the project. They must make sure that they complete the project within the time and within the budget. That is what the main important thing that they have to remember. Time and the budget as well as the quality is the most important factor of a particular project. So if we achieve if we achieve all these three important factors like time complexity and budget allocated to us and the objective which we have, objective of a particular project as well as the quality of the project. If we achieve all these particular factors, then we can say that the project is successful and the project is the one which we have got a very good result from it. So this is what about the project management speaks about. Okay, so any doubts in this particular project management? Yes, understood. What are the things that are required for us in order to manage the project? The main important factor that you have when it comes to the project management, main important factors that you have to remember is a teamwork as well as plan, budget as well as time and the objective of the project and quality of the project. So these are the factors which are most important and essentially needed for us in order to complete the project in a successful manner. So this is what about the project management is. And the next concept here is formulation of project report. So once normally when it comes to the industry's point of view, there are different types of industries like small scale industries, micro scale industries, medium scale industries and large scale industries. Each and every industry will not be having a sophisticated method in order to prepare the report. Will not be having a sophisticated reports in order to develop a project report according to the need of their organizations. So small scale industries will be having their own specific method for different units. Like when it comes to a small scale industries, there will be something around 2 to 3 different units. Each and every unit will be developing different projects. So they are based upon the project report is dependent on. So we can't say that it doesn't have a sophisticated technique in order to prepare a project report. Why? Because based upon the project report differs. And similarly based upon the size of the organization, the preparation of the project report also differs. So when it comes to the industry's point of view, normally micro and small scale industries or enterprises do not include sophisticated technique which are used to prepare the project report. Whereas within the small enterprise, all the information may not be homogeneous for all the units. What it indicates is homogeneous in the sense same, right? So depending upon the type of unit and depending upon the type of project, the project report differs. So when the project report differs, automatically it comes under heterogeneous rather than it doesn't come under homogeneous. Okay, and this particular project report is dependent upon the size of the unit as well as the nature of the production. The report is dependent on the size of the unit and the nature of production which is carried out in that particular organization. So when it comes to this formalization, project formulation is nothing but it is a systematic development of a project idea in order to convert that particular idea into a product. Like it speaks about all the information, it gives you the complete information and deep information about what are the things that are present in that particular project, how to run that particular project, in what way we can execute that particular project, and what is the budget that has to be allocated in that particular project. All these particular aspects will be included in this particular formulation of the project. And one of the author with the name Vinod Gupta, he says that formulation of project report is carried out by taking the 8 different steps into consideration, where the first and foremost step in this particular process is a general information. So, as we discussed in the previous class about contents of project report, there also we came across with this particular word called as general information, isn't it? So, the information of general nature in the given project report it must include the biodata of the promoter, industry profile, okay, constitution and organization. It speaks about and the product details which you are going to develop. So what actually this particular biodata of the promoter speaks about? Biodata of the promoter is the one which helps us to know who is the owner of that particular organization and what is his name, or like the address of the entrepreneur, the qualification and experience of the entrepreneur, and other capabilities of the entrepreneur. If there are any other partners, then they have to represent their details also in that particular place. So general information majorly deals with 4 different factors. One is biodata of a promoter, which is nothing but biodata of an entrepreneur. Second one is industry profile. Third one is the details about the organization and its constitution, and also the product details which they are going to develop in that particular organization. So here, these are the factors which we have to include when it comes to the general information. Whereas the second point here is project description. Whenever we are going to develop a particular project, we have to give the brief discussion, brief idea about what is the project that we are going to develop. A brief description of the project covering the various aspects like where you are going to start that particular project, that is nothing but which indicates site, whereas physical infrastructure, present infrastructure of our company. It has to speak about the present infrastructure of our company, where the present infrastructure of our company speaks about the raw materials which are available in the organization and the raw materials which are required for us in order to start this particular project. How much resources are available to us? Is there anything else which need to be brought to the organization from some vendors, has to be represented in this particular physical infrastructure process. One is when it comes to the project description, first and foremost point that we have to remember is where you are going to start the project. It speaks about the location of the enterprise or the leased land or industrial area or all this, but no objection certificate and municipal authorities, everything has to be brought into the consideration of this particular document when it comes to the project description process. First is no objection certificate in order to design and develop that particular project. Similarly, a license from the municipality in order to run that particular project successfully, and also the lease. Whether if you are going to do some projects outside the organization, then you have to take some lease of that particular land where you are starting that particular project. The lease agreements and all those particular things has to be mentioned in that particular site. Whereas the second point in project description here is physical infrastructure. The present infrastructure of your organization has to be mentioned here. How much raw materials how much resources that are available with us right now in order to start this particular project has to be mentioned here. Similarly, how many skilled laborers are available with us, which is nothing but the employees of the organization. Availability of skilled laborers in the area, arrangement of training for the laborers in various skills has to be represented in this particular place. Whereas the last and foremost point is utility of project description. In project description, the last point here is utilities. Utilities speaks about the power requirement, fuel requirement, water requirement, pollution control, communication system, transport facilities, and other common facilities which are most importantly essentially needed for us in order to run that particular project. So utilities are nothing but a basic requirement for the employees. How much power is required for us, how much fuel is required for us, how much water is required for us, and in terms of water, when it comes to the water point of view, we have to think about pollution control, communication system, transport facilities which are available to us, and other common facilities which are most essentially needed for us in order to run that particular project in a successful manner. Whereas the third point here is market potential. Well, while preparing the project report, we have to think about the various aspects when it comes to the market. One is demand and supply position. In terms of project market potential, we have to think about demand and supply positions. Like it has to state that the total supply, the total estimated or expected demand of a particular product which we are going to develop, and the present supply position. What is the present supply position? How much we can supply to the market, and what is the expected market supply, and how much we are going to supply, and what is the deficiency of it has to be identified. For example, if my company is able to develop only 100 products per day, and if the market requirements is something 150 per day, so we are lack of 50. We have to identify that particular deficiency, and we have to overcome that particular gap by increasing the production capability. That is what it speaks about demand and supply position. What is the present demand and what is the supply position of our company right now? Similarly, the second point in market potential is what is the expected price. An expected price of the product to be released should be mentioned in the project report. How much cost of this particular project that you are going to sell it into the market? What is the cost of this particular project which you are going to sell it into the market has to be mentioned in that particular place. Similarly, marketing survey. Arrangements has to be made for selling the product should be clearly stated in the project. How you are going to sell that particular product into the market, whether you are going to sell that particular product by advertising it, and whether you are going to sell that particular product through online, whether you are going to sell that particular through offline, or whether you are going to arrange some vendors who can distribute your products into the market. So there are different ways of marketing strategy speaks about. So how you are going to sell that particular product into the market has to be mentioned in that particular process. And similarly, transportation. How you are going, like requirements for transportation include whether public transportation or entrepreneurs own transportation should be mentioned in that particular project report. Whether you are going to provide the support of transportation of employees for the employees through your own vehicles or with the support of a government vehicles has to be mentioned in that particular process. So the next point here is capital cost and source of finance. So what this particular capital cost speaks about is an estimation of various components of capital items like land, building, plant and machinery, installation cost, margin for working capital should be mentioned in the project report. It speaks about how much you are going to invest for this particular project. It speaks about like how much you are going to spend for designing this particular plant in order to start this particular project, how much you are going to spend on machinery, how much you are going to spend on the labors, and how much you are going to spend on the other preliminary expenses which are going to come across in terms of your project has to be mentioned in this particular project. And this particular sources should indicate the owner's fund together with fund raised for the financial institution. How much you are going to spend from your end and how much you are in need from the banks has to be mentioned in this particular case. So the next here is assessment of working capital requirement. Assessment of working capital requirement, it is nothing but you have to assess how much capital you have and how much you are going to spend, and whether you require some more amount from the bankers or whether you are not in need of support of bank in order to get some finance aspect. Assessment speaks about based upon the budget that you have, can you complete this particular work? If it is possible, then you have to mention that. If it is not possible, then how you are going to get some remaining amount which is most essentially needed for you in order to run this particular project. So has to be mentioned in this particular assessment of working capital. So the next point here is other financial aspects. Other financial aspects, it can be anything. It can be related to the profit and the loss, which is going to come across. An estimate has to be made in terms of any project before starting the project, in terms of what might be the profit that I may get if my product gets success. If my product gets success, now my profit may be something around 1 crore rupees. If my product gets failure, I may be in the loss of something around 50 lakhs. So all this like successful and failures. Success and failures in terms of economical background of an employee or as well as the organization has to be mentioned in this particular case. Whereas the next point is economical and social welfare. And here when it comes to the other financial aspect, the companies will use one particular process which is called as break even point. Break even point is a level indicates the present status of your company and what might be the future status of your company. Break even point is having one particular formula which speaks about a fixed cost, sales project as well as variable cost. Fixed cost, sales project and variable cost, by considering this particular values, by considering this particular variables, they are going to calculate what might be the status of my company in future. And this particular will indicate what percentage of sales that you will get. It indicates what percentage of sales you will get. The entrepreneur will break down the no profit and no loss. It will break even, it will help us to no loss and no profit also. We will come across what might be the future of this particular project, and if that particular project is successful, what will be the profit. If the project is not successful, what might be the loss. If the project is in between both, then what might be the present status of our company in terms of financial asset. So this is what about the other point of formulation, like formulation of a project report speaks about. Whereas the last and foremost point, last but one point here is economical and social variables. When it comes to the social responsibility, of a company or a business, the cost for controlling the environment damage should be stated in the project. When it comes to the social variables, so we have to think about the society. What might be the effect that we may observe if we design and develop this particular project towards the society? There will be some sort of defects. There will be some sort of defects in terms of each and every project which we have developed in the previous days and tomorrow also. So when it comes to the social responsibility of a particular business, he has to think about how can he control that particular pollution damage, environment damage. How he is going to control it, and what is the budget that he has allocated in order to control that particular damage has to be stated in this particular project report. And this particular arrangements made for treating the efficient and emissions, like for example when it comes to the bikes point of view, bikes or cars point of view, pollution will be more. How you are going to control that particular pollution? What is the cost that you have fixed for controlling the pollution which you are getting from your vehicles, which you are delivering those particular products, has to be mentioned in this particular case. Whereas the last and foremost point here is project implementation. So this particular last but no meaning is here the entrepreneur should draw an implementation scheme in such a way that it must run in an effective manner. Implementation scheme is nothing but we can say it as a timetable for the development of a project. We have to design a timetable in such a way that the project has to be designed and developed in a smooth and effective manner. So what might it speaks about project splitting. If it is a big project, we have to split that particular project into different parts, and we have to work on each and individual module in separately, and later we have to combine that particular project in a successful manner. So in order to split it, in order to work on each and individual module separately, and in order to embed it together, in order to form a single product and test it, we require some sort of time. So in order to get that particular process, in order to get that particular time complexity or a time scale, we will be using this particular project implementation. How you are going to implement it is second part. First is we have to think about time complexity. Second, we have to think about which method you are going to adopt for this particular project, and what the skills which are going to use for this particular project, and also the knowledge which you are going to use for this particular project has to be mentioned in this particular project implementation process. It speaks about inputs, the input, process, output, and the time required for completing this particular project. That will be mentioned in this particular project implementation process. Okay, understood everyone?
Yes, sir.
General information, what it speaks about biodata of the promoter, industry profile, it speaks about the constituencies and organization, and also the product details which the organization is going to develop. Whereas project description speaks about what? The type of project which you are going to develop, and the method and skills which you are going to use for this particular project, and the cost of that particular project development has to be mentioned in that particular case. Similarly, market potential, how you are going to sell that particular project into the market is to be mentioned there. Whereas the fourth point is capital cost and source of finance. It speaks about how much capital that you are going to utilize for this particular project, and how much you are having, and how much you are in need from the bankers has to be mentioned here. Whereas the fifth point here is assessment of working capital. As I said you, assessment speaks about the deficiency. It speaks about identifying the gap between the present status of your capital and how much you are in need of. That will be mentioned in this particular case. And other financial aspects speaks about the other resources which you are going to utilize by taking the support of break-even element. Break-even element is one method which the organizations will be using in order to know whether this particular project will be successful or not successful when we deliver that particular product into the company, from company to the society. Similarly, social variable speaks about economical, and social variable speaks about the social responsibilities of the business, wherein they have to adopt or they have to fix some cost for controlling the environment damage. Similarly, project implementation speaks about what is the input that you are going to take, what type of knowledge that you are going to use, and what type of method that you are going to use, and how you are going to implement that particular project, like the skills that you are going to use, and how many employees are required for you in order to run that particular project, and what might be the output of your project, and what is the time complexity that is required for you in order to complete this particular project will be mentioned in this particular place. Has to be mentioned in this particular place. So this is what about the formulation of project report speaks about. So in the previous slide, we have discussed about what is project management and its major important factors, and also we have discussed about formulation of project report. Understood everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Spurti? Sanjay KP? Prem Kumar Nivedita?
Yes, sir.
Abhishek SP?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay, this is what about the two concepts, and the next concept in this particular chapter is enterprise resource planning. So what actually this particular ERP stands for? ERP is nothing but an enterprise resource management. The abbreviation of ERP is enterprise management system. It is a business management software. We call it as it is a software wherein we can perform all the tasks together by taking the support of one single software. It is a one which can help us in order to design and develop and perform the various activities which are most essentially needed for us in order to run the particular project. Just 2 minutes. Just I'm getting one call. ಹಲೋ ಹೇಳಿ ಓಂಕಾರಿ ಅವ್ರೆ. ಬರ್ಲಲ್ರಿ, ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಂತ. ಇವಾಗ 11 ಆಗೈತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ಇವಾಗ 11 ಆಗೈತಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗೆ. ಬೇಗ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಅರ್ಧ ದಿವಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಡ. ಸರಿ ಸರಿ, ಓಕೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಾಗ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇವಾಗೂ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಾಗ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. So it is a consolidated process of software wherein it contains different types of functions which are involved in it. Like we can we can design the software, we can manage all the different types of process which has to be carried out in terms of an organization by taking the support of this particular ERP process. It is an integrated software suite, as I mentioned in this particular slide. It is a software that contains the application which automates the business functions like production, sales, quotation, accounting, and many more. So, and this particular ERP, what is the major use of this particular ERP is, it is a system used by organizations looking to manage their business functions. Looking to manage their business functions within the centralized and integrated system. This is the centralized and integrated system wherein the organization can manage most of the functions which they are going to carry out in the specific organization. And ERP commonly used by companies working within the supply chain to help keep track of all moving parts of manufacturing and distribution. Most of the companies which are related to manufacturing and distribution, they make use of this particular software in order to keep a track of how much production has been completed and how much has been distributed towards the society. And this particular ERP can also be utilized by the number of different industries, including healthcare, non-profit groups, constructions, and hospitals. It can also be used in this particular places. And here ERP is the one thing which is most essentially why we require this particular ERP is one of the things is it helps us to perform different operations by taking the support of one single software. And it is considered like any company which uses this particular ERP will be having some benefits, like they can save money, and at the same time they can improve their collaborations with other companies. Better analysis can be done. Similarly, improved productivity, and also we can make the customers happy because the process of this particular ERP helps us to perform different operation by taking a single input of your projects or your works which you are going to carry out in a specific organization. So this is what about the ERP speaks about. ERP is nothing but it is an integrated software which helps the organization to perform different operations at a time within a fraction of time. It is a one which contains different applications, and it is an automation process. Where it can control all the functions of a particular organization in a smooth manner. This particular ERP has some disadvantages here. The major advantage here is business integration and improved data accuracy. What this business integration and data accuracy is? Integration speaks about combining two or more businesses together in a single organization and working on the same is possible with the support of this particular ERP process. And we can also improve the data accuracy is nothing but improve the projects results in a smooth and proper manner within the time period which has been. Similarly, the efficiency of the product as well as the productivity development of that particular product can also be increased. And the flexibility and technology speaks about if I give one particular input for a particular for a particular, it can take up all the functions together. It can take up all the functions together and complete the task in a successful manner. And this is what about the ERP speaks about. Okay, so in this particular ERP, they asked only about meaning of ERP. What is ERP? ERP is nothing but an software or integrated software which can perform different operations by taking a support of single input. And this is an automated software which can perform various activities in different organizations. ERP can also be used in banking sectors as well as non-profit organizations, and also it can be used in hospitals also. And this particular ERP software is most essentially helpful and needed for the one who is going to manufacture the products and distribute that particular products into the market, wherein this ERP will help us to track that particular process, manufacturing and distribution. It is more effective in it. So this is why we use this particular ERP in terms of any organizations. And we can also represent, these are the various advantages which we can come across, and also along with this diagram. That is more than enough. And they will ask you for 5 marks. This is what you can represent, and this is the diagram which we have to represent in that particular in your answer sheet when if they ask you about ERP process. Okay, and this is what about the ERP and formulation of project. In this particular chapter, we have discussed about what is a project, that is meaning of a project and the characteristics of project. And also we have discussed about the project identification, where project identification speaks about idea generation and project selection. And also we have discussed about project report, its need and its significance. Also we have discussed about contents of project report, project management and its characteristics, then formulation of project report, and also we have discussed about enterprise resource planning. Okay, in the last and foremost topic that has left in this particular chapter is functional areas of management, which we have already discussed in module 1. Again, I will discuss in brief about it, and I will wind up with module 4. Okay, understood everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.